Okay, so today we're going to be talking about solving equations with roots. So this is basically when we have some kind of variable that has an exponent. We're going to have to find a root in order to solve for that variable. So looking here, we have k squared is equal to 9. So I need to get that k all by itself in order to know what k is equal to. Now, to undo any kind of exponent, we have to find a root. Since this is squared, we want to find the square root. So if we find the square root of k squared, we also need to find the square root of the other side. So square root of k squared is just k, and again, the square root is just the number you multiply by itself to get whatever, right? So k squared would just be k when you find the root. Square root of 9 would be 3. And again, if you don't know how to do that on your calculator, there is a handy nifty square root button right here. So you'd find the square root of 9 gives you 3. Now, with square roots, there's actually two roots, right? So k could actually equal either positive 3 or it could equal negative 3. So it'll be plus minus 3. And that's all you're doing there. Now, if we have something to the third power, that means we need to find the cube root. So again, on our calculator does that for us. We're trying to find the number that multiplies by itself 3 times to get 512. So we'd put in a 3, put our multi-root button, and then we'd plug in 512, which gives me 8. And cube roots only have one root. I don't know why I wrote 3. It is 8. When you multiply a number by itself 3 times, you're always going to get just whatever the sign was originally. So there's only one possible root there. Now, let's look at something a little bit trickier. So if we look at this problem here, we have 9k squared equals 657. Now, we need to get that k squared all by itself first. So the 9 is multiplying. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to divide by 9. So 657 divided by 9 is 73. So that gives me k squared is equal to 73. So still not quite by itself, right? So we need to undo the square now. We need to square root both sides. Now when we find the square root of 73, my calculator tells us the square root of 73. So I need to push the fraction of decimal button. And it gives me 8.54, so it's not a nice number. And generally, I just round these to the nearest hundredth, so the second decimal spot. So k is going to equal 8.54, but did I forget anything? Yes, since I square rooted, it should be plus minus. It could be either positive 8.54 or negative 8.54. I don't know which, so I have to write it as both possibilities. Okay? And that's basically all you're doing here. You're going to have like an operation that you're going to have to get rid of something first. So like on number 4 here, we have h to the third over 2 equals 32. We need to get the h to the third all by itself, so we're going to start by multiplying each side by 2. Gives me h to the third is equal to 64. And now I want to undo that third, so I have to cube root both sides. And the cube root of 64 is just going to be 4. And that is all you are doing when you are solving an equation for a root.